In the darkest depths of the 14th century, Europe found itself grappling with an adversary more terrifying than any monarch or mercenary, the bubonic plague. As this grim reaper danced across the continent, leaving a trail of misery and death in its wake, entire communities were decimated. But amidst this grim tableau, a horrifying new chapter was about to unfold. A spectral galleon emerged from the mists of time, bearing not treasure, nor spices, but a sinister cargo, the souls of the damned. This is the tale of the curse of the Black Plague ship. Our story begins in 1347 when the Sicilian port of Messina witnessed the arrival of a vessel that would forever be etched in infamy. The ship had sailed in from the Black Sea, ostensibly laden with the exotic allure of spices and silk, yet the reality was far more sinister. For sailing into the harbor that day was a phantom ship, a harbinger of death, a vessel not of this world. As it docked, a macabre spectacle unfolded. Tattered sails hung like shrouds, the hull was rotten, and an eerie silence pervaded the deck. The sailors who had gone ashore were nowhere to be seen. And upon closer inspection, the reason for this ghostly absence became clear. Every man on board was dead, their bodies grotesquely twisted and swollen, their skin marred by dark, gaping sores. It was evident that they had suffered immensely, yet no one had been spared the horrific fate. Aboard the vessel, the captain's cabin, a diary chronicled the descent into madness and death. The entries told of a voyage that began with high hopes and turned into a nightmare of unimaginable proportions. As the ship set sail from the Black Sea, the crew was a picture of health and vigor, ready to brave the perils of the open sea in search of fortune. But what they didn't know was that their fates were sealed, that they were carrying a sinister stowaway, an invisible, insidious menace that would turn their journey into a hellish cruise to oblivion. For the first few weeks, everything seemed fine. The ship sliced through the waves, the sails billowing in the wind, the crew singing songs of adventure and daring. But then, the unthinkable happened. One by one, the sailors fell victim to a dreadful pestilence. The strong and able-bodied became weak and delirious, succumbing to a disease that seemed to materialize out of thin air. The diary spoke of scenes that would haunt the nightmares of those who read it. Men afflicted by fever, chills, and excruciating pain, their bodies racked by convulsions, their eyes filled with unspeakable terror. But that was only the beginning, for as the night wore on, the real horrors began to unfold. In the flickering lamplight, grotesque figures seemed to dance on the walls, their outlines shifting and swirling. Voices, disembodied and chilling, whispered the sailors' names, taunting them, tormenting them. Then came the scratching, relentless clawing sounds that seemed to emanate from the very core of the ship, as if some unseen entity were trying to break free from the confines of the vessel. And then the voices grew clearer, more distinct, uttering promises of death, of a fate worse than death. These nocturnal frights were not just hallucinations, the sailors claimed. No, they were real, tangible presences that stalked the ship, that leered at them from the shadows. With each passing day, the situation worsened. The diary entries became more frantic, the handwriting shaky, the ink-stained pages bearing witness to a descent into madness. The sailors, driven to the edge of sanity, spoke of shadowy figures that moved with them, touched them, tormented them. They saw specters in every corner, heard whispers in every crevice. As the ship neared the Sicilian coast, the plague aboard reached its horrifying crescendo. Hundreds perished, their souls claimed by the unseen menace that lurked within the ship. By the time it docked in Messina, the vessel had transformed into a floating tomb. When the authorities boarded the ship, they found the horrific truth. The crew, now deceased, had succumbed to a terrible fate, their bodies ravaged by the plague. The captain's cabin yielded a diary that revealed the extent of the tragedy. The ship, it seemed, was cursed, carrying a malevolent presence that had claimed the lives of every sailor on board. But the nightmare did not end there. The plague carried by the ship spilled onto the shores of Sicily, claiming hundreds more victims. Locals dubbed it the Death Ship, a moniker that would become synonymous with fear and death. For months, anyone who ventured too close to the docks found themselves inexplicably drawn to the ship and vanished without a trace. Some whispered that the sailors' souls were trapped aboard, doomed to wander endlessly, dragging the sickness with them. Others claimed that the ship itself was haunted, a vessel steered by a ghostly captain with an insatiable appetite for human souls. As the centuries rolled by, the tales of the death ship became part of local folklore, a chilling narrative that sent shivers down the spines of those who heard it. Fishermen spoke of seeing the ghostly galleon in the morning mist, its tattered sails moving against the wind, creaking as if alive. Those who dared approach the ship in their boats reported feeling a sudden chill as if a grave had been disturbed. They too heard the whispers of their own names, felt icy fingers brush against their skin, and sometimes woke up on the shore days later, alone and covered in strange sores. And so the legend of the Black Plague ship endured, a haunting reminder that some curses do not die with their victims, that some tragedies echo through time, carried on the wind and the water, seeking new souls to claim. Imagine you're an unsuspecting traveler in 1347, making your way to the bustling port of Messina, eager to embark on a journey filled with promise and adventure. Little do you know that lurking in the shadows is a specter of death, a phantom ship that will turn your dreams into nightmares. You feel the warmth of the sun on your face, the salty tang of the sea in your nostrils as you approach the harbor. But the idyllic scene is shattered by the sight that greets you. There in the distance, silhouetted against the azure sky, is a ship like none you have ever seen before. Its sails are tattered and stained, the hull rotting and barnacle encrusted. There's a disturbing stillness about it, as if it's suspended between worlds. Curiosity piqued, you make your way closer, eager to unravel the mystery of the ship that seems out of place and out of time. As you draw nearer, a sense of foreboding washes over you. An unnatural chill seeps into your bones, and the playful lapping of the waves turns into a sinister growl. Then you see them, the crew members who had come ashore, their faces pale and drawn, their eyes vacant and staring. You try to call out to them, but your voice catches in your throat. You realize with a jolt that they are dead, frozen in an eternal slumber. And as the realization dawns on you, a horrifying thought strikes like a thunderbolt. This is no ordinary ship. This is the death ship, a vessel that carries with it the breath of death, a floating tomb that has come to claim your soul. Terror grips you, paralyzing you where you stand. You want to flee, to escape the suffocating grip of death, but your feet are rooted to the spot. You struggle to break free, but it's too late. Ship has claimed you. The diary offers a glimpse into the hellish ordeal that befell the crew of the Black Plague ship. The first entries are filled with the excitement and anticipation of a voyage to uncharted waters. The sailors speak of the thrill of the open sea, the camaraderie among the crew, the anticipation of the treasures that await them. But as the ship sails on, the tone of the entries shifts dramatically. As the crew begins to fall ill, their bodies racked by fever, chills, and excruciating pain. The diary pages bear witness to their suffering as they grapple with the relentless grip of the plague. But it is the cryptic descriptions of the supernatural occurrences that truly send chills down the spine. The sailors speak of shadowy figures that stalk them, of disembodied voices that whisper their names, of scratching sounds that seem to emanate from the very core of the ship. As the diary progresses, the entries become increasingly frantic, the handwriting shaky, the ink staining the paper as if mirroring the blood that courses through the sailors' veins. The sailors' grip on reality seems to be slipping, as they describe scenes that defy logic and reason. The final entries are a harrowing testament to the power of the curse. The sailors' pleas for mercy, their laments echoing the tragedy that unfolded aboard the Black Plague ship. Their words serve as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can consume even the most intrepid of souls. What began as a voyage of discovery and adventure turned into a descent into madness and death. The diary leaves us with more questions than answers, but one thing is clear: the Black Plague ship was no ordinary vessel. It was a vessel of death, a floating nightmare that claimed the lives of all who dared to cross its path. The Black Plague ship remains an enduring image, a haunting reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of our world. It serves as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable horrors, and a chilling reminder that some curses transcend time and continue to haunt us even today. So the next time you find yourself by the sea, listening to the waves crashing against the shore, remember the tale of the Black Plague ship. Listen closely, for you might just hear the faint sound of its spectral bells tolling in the distance. A chilling requiem for those lost to the curse of the Black Plague ship.